What's up, everyone? Thank you for bearing with me for another episode of Chit Chat. So, low-key, I just finished a long trip in Europe in like 5 different countries for the past 5 weeks. And then I just landed Shanghai a couple of days ago. Still jet-lagged, but recovering. So I was in Portugal, UK, Malta, Italy. Oh, that was 4 countries, right? And my highlight was definitely Naples. So I just want to share some of the very specific coincidence that happens during my trips in Europe. So among all these cities in different countries, Naples is obviously my highlight of the trip. I had literally no expectation due to the weather, also the rumor that spread around Naples saying there's a lot of pickpocketing. But I'm a girl from New York. As long as I can survive New York with a gun shooting, I can pretty much survive anywhere, right? So I just need to be low-key, not dressing any brand or like big shopping in the streets so I can avoid most of the pickpocketing. So I landed in Naples, I settled my mom in a hotel, and then I went out for a yoga trip. And during this trip, I realized the taxi driver is driving me all the way up to the mountains. So actually it looks very nice, looking down from the top, which is called the Belvedere Point of San Marino, which is a very nice lookout. When I got there, after I got off the taxi, after I talked to the yoga instructor, I realized, I got the date wrong. So when I called another driver, I hopped in a car. I realized, hey, it's the same driver. What are the chances? It's not like Naples is a very, unsafe and small city. It's actually quite big, and I'm sure there's massive amount of, taxi drivers around there. So on the way down from the mountaintop to the city, it was almost like 45 minutes drive. The guy was using his translation app and asking, hey, what were you doing on the top of the mountain? I was like, I'm supposed to do yoga, but obviously I got the date wrong. And then we were just chatting for almost 30 minutes through this, translation app. He was talking through the app and then in translation from Italian to English, and me vice versa, English to Italian with a voiceover. He took me to some lookout points, I was just hanging out there. It was raining. I love a rainy day, a rainy night in Naples. And he was like, hey, why don't you just, get out of the car quickly and just take a photo and come back? Because if you were to get another car at this point, I'm afraid you're gonna have to wait for another 15 minutes in the rain by yourself. So he literally lent me his umbrella, he trusted me. I got out of the car and took this photo. On the way back, he also took me some of the narrow streets with a very nice scene, some bars, areas, which is very beautiful, exotic, only local would go. Also offered me a discount for my taxi tab, which is pretty nice. And then he even offered me, hey, do you want to grab a drink in the bar? I was like, no, it's okay, which I feel a little bit suspicious. Coming out of a complete stranger, you'd be freaked out, right? So I was like, I better be cautious. But later when I talked to my Italian friend, Vittorio, he told me that that's just Italian way of telling you, hey, I want to help you out and I'm falling in love with you. So this whole trip in Italy, having the same taxi driver, having such an amazing day, and I even jotted down all my memories into my journal so I can kind of save, this precious memory in my second brain. It was just truly beautiful. Nothing but kindness, generosity, and solitude. I never really know that I enjoyed this much of solitude myself during a trip. Since I was in a trip for 5 weeks, that's a pretty long time, for you to stay in Europe. So regular my day by arranging different yoga, work calls, work schedule, Pilates, squash, so I can make myself feel like home. And the first day when I landed in Shanghai, I went straight to yoga and of course an eyelash session to kind of get myself ready for the next couple of days. So I sent a good friend a photo of a cross street of, I think it's Jiangsu Yuanlu, and my friend was like, I just drove by this place also. There's just a lot of very tiny, interesting details that happened during my trip. I literally just texted my ex-boss, actually the boss of my boss, that day, telling him that sending him a photo of the frog noodle that I was eating because it's literally my comfort food, my favorite. And then he's like, I was just thinking about you. I was thinking if you were in Shanghai. And then the next day we just grab coffee together the next morning for breakfast. Small things happen, like sliding doors happens all the time. And And if I have not jotted down in my journal for a very long time, I don't think I could be living in the present like this, and experiencing so much joy, gratitude from every day of my life. I'm just glad that, I'm still fit, I eat healthy, taking care of myself. My mom is super happy after the Europe trip, even though she got sick after she came back, but she's fine. I'm just very grateful of these little small things. Also, in memory of my 31st birthday, I think I just want to share with you some of my thoughts. There is no purpose behind this talk at all. I kind of want to say, right now, every time, any time is impeccable. Any time could be perfect. And as a matter of fact, how you treat your environment, how do you take on your thoughts, and how do you differentiate the reality and your thoughts? Life is really beautiful. You're beautiful. And I wish you have a beautiful dream, a beautiful day, and a beautiful week ahead.